a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah.
Well, hello again. Welcome to Rolynn's Reviews. So glad to be with you today. As you enter the chat room, folks, if you will do me one small favor, I just need for you to hit the little thumb that is directly up under the channel name, and that will help YouTube, hopefully, to share the live stream out. So possibly, maybe we can bring more people into the live stream. I always say, hey, the more, the merrier. All right. So glad to be with you. Now, this subject matter, if you're familiar, if you've been here for a while, we've been talking about this issue so far as teenagers and younger being charged as adults. And, we've also been talking about the situation with the parents and what should happen to them to have children, and they're unleashed on everyone. And all of us becoming, not all of us, but many of us, unfortunately, being exposed to violence from these types of situations. So I think you know my stance. If you commit adult crimes, well, then you need to definitely do some adult time. Okay. Well, I will do the roll call momentarily. If you would like for me to call your name during the roll call, if you will, just type something, anything into the chat section. You can say hello. You can send out an emoji. It is up to you. If not, I cannot see that you are here. I can see people are here, but if you don't type something, I don't know exactly who is here. All right. So, tell me what you think. If you are familiar with this subject matter, let me know. That would be great. Where are we here? Okay. All right. Yeah. So make sure you check out the shorts. I've uploaded a ton of short videos. So whenever I get a moment, and obviously tomorrow's a holiday, I don't have to go to work. So guess what? I have a little extra time, just a little. All right. I will go ahead and I will start with the roll call. Jeremiah, how are you doing, love? Jeremiah says it's okay, but I hope not too many people show. Oh, okay. Where are we here? Jeremiah, that's right. We've already spoken. Here we go. Lord Jammer, how are you? Lord Jammer says hi. Sorry, I missed yesterday's live stream. And again, Lord Jammer, we can't make them all. People are busy. We're glad that you are here with us now. Okay. Chubbs, how you doing, sir? Thank you for your service. Where are we? Connie, how you doing? To you and Dorian, Tina, of course, is here. Anthony Capone. Hello. Stacy. Hello. Robert. That's okay, Robert. You can check it out today. Okay. All right. How you doing, Florida? Happy Labor Day to you as well. I probably, if I don't go live tomorrow, I'll definitely upload some videos. So we'll see. Okay. Nuck and Futz, how you doing? Okay. So let's go ahead and get started with this live stream. All right. So this particular case, and I've shared some links with you below in the description box. So when we're done, you can go check out some statistics for yourself. Okay. All right. So this case happened. This is out of Utica, New York. And this happened August 2025. New York police arrested 36-year-old Neutral Muhammad, charging her with endangering the welfare of a child. Now, if you're familiar with this, please, how you doing, my girls? Type it in the comment section. I definitely want to get your intake. I want to know your take on this and what your thoughts are. Mother, so she's been charged, right? So her 11-year-old son is going on a whole crime spree. So we're talking about pattern recognition here, right? All right. So the charges were filed after her 11-year-old son was allegedly involved in multiple, look at this, let me highlight this, serious crimes. So we're not talking penny ante crimes here, okay? We're talking serious. Tina, you're not familiar with it, okay? Including felonies. Let me highlight felonies. Boom. Details of the case. The child's alleged offenses. Police reported that the 11-year-old was involved in a crime spree that included robbery, auto theft, and setting a fire inside a Walmart. Folks, someone answer this question. Why do people go to Walmart to commit so many crimes? What is the deal? Someone explain it to me. All right. Anyway, the mother's charge. Because the boy is under the age of criminal responsibility in New York, he could not be charged with the felonies. Instead, authorities charged the mother, alleging that her actions and inactions created the situation that enabled her son's behavior. A rare legal action. Law enforcement called the arrest a very unique situation, nothing that is an unusual step for police to take. They hope the arrest sends a message to other parents. Tell me your take again in the comment section. I definitely want to know what you think about his mother being charged. Tina, 11 years old is still a baby to me. That mother should be brought up on charges. Boom. And I don't know what's going on with my iPad. I do not have my truth bomb. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my iPad. I don't know if it's updating, but I'm unable to use my truth bomb today, unfortunately. Okay, we will survive. That's okay. Jeremiah, commit adult actions, get charged for adult crimes. Boom. So I don't have my truth bomb, but I can say it. All right, let me see if I can get my iPad going here. All right. It's still not working here. Continue. All right. Tell me what you think, folks, in the comment section. Goals for the prosecution. According to police, the misdemeanor charge against the mother is intended to get her attention and connect the family with court-ordered services rather than leading to jail time. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. Let me see. Oh, I need to see these comments. Nemo, LA, how are you? Yes, she should be held responsible. Boom. I agree. What Walmart is famous for that. They check your receipt before you exit. Okay, good. He needs to be punished in some type of way. Good, Robert. Those laws were really stupid. Okay, I agree. That's how it's supposed to be. It is the parents' responsibility. Okay, good. Tina, parents are going to have to start getting stricter with their kids at home. The law needs to get stricter with the parents. Yes, Tina, I am on board. I'm with you. That's per usual. Liberal soft on crime stance. Boom. That's a definite truth bomb. Connie, mom is responsible. Yes. I'm glad they're charging her. Parents need to get back to parenting their kids and stop letting them run around like wild animals. Perfect. I agree. All right. Jeremiah, in fact, uh, since it was a child involved with an adult crime, the parents need to be charged. Yeah. I'm with you. We're there. And then there's some similar cases that were related to juvenile in reference to juvenile uh, crime sprees. All right. High profile cases involving firearms, Michigan 2024. And these, of course, would be the most publicized cases of parental criminal responsibility that often involve incidents of deadly violence, particularly the school, unalivings that have taken place in this country now for several years. And there seems to be an uptick. Okay. Anthony, I have mixed feelings. Gave my mom a hard time, and she was an amazing mom. Okay, Anthony. All right. So some of you are, and we're all from a different situation. But thank you for that take, Anthony. American kids are crazy. Yes, Tina. Okay, there we go. So Michigan 2024, and historical legal precedent. The parents of a school shooter were convicted of involuntary manslaughter. Prosecutors successfully argued that the parents' negligence. So this is the word right here. That's the operative word. Including failing to secure a gun and ignoring their son's mental health struggles, contributed to the shooting that killed 4 students. Virginia 2023. So I'm showing you the legal cases so you can see the precedents. Virginia 2023, the mother of a 6-year-old boy who shot his first grade teacher was sentenced to 2 years in prison for felony child neglect. She also was convicted of using illegal drugs while owning a firearm. So tell me, the cases that I'm sharing with you, do you think this is fair? Is this right? Dorian, my mom is a liberal, but she raised me better than this. Okay. All right. I want all of you to chime in. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that little like button. Thank you so much. Georgia, 2024. A father was charged with murder after his 14-year-old son, who had a history of making threats, allegedly used a gun from the home to kill 2 classmates and 2 teachers. The charges are connected to allowing his son access to the weapon. Now, if you're familiar with some of these prior cases, please let me know. Lord Jammer, yes, we just went over the mark this morning at 14,800. We're quickly approaching 15,000. If all of you hit that little thumb, if all of you share this video on your Facebook page, on your Truth Social page, it can happen in no time. Thank you so much, Lord Jammer. Local ordinances and truancy laws. In addition to state laws on juvenile crime, some local jurisdictions impose penalties on parents for their children's actions. Now, New Jersey 2025. In a prior video, I did mention that to you. I think I showed you a clip of teenagers going into stores, as a mob, grabbing everything they could and leaving the store demolished and destroyed. All right. So, my girls, it seems like parents have way too many things distracting them to parent their children. Oh, boom, truth bomb. Work, social media, personal problem. My girl, I'm glad you brought that up. So in many instances, the parents are negligent because they have their own issues going on. And that's a true statement, right? All right. And again, I have a little video on what they're doing in New Jersey. In New Jersey, that ordinance, it did pass, allowing parents to face jail time or fines if their child is repeatedly found guilty. Of course, there was an outcry The parents were saying, I don't, why am I being held responsible for the actions of my children? James, how you doing, love? James, no, she has not. I don't know what's going on with that case. California. State law holds parents responsible for their children's truancy, where chronic school absences can result in criminal charges and mandatory parenting classes. And remember, now I discussed this situation when the Curry Queen was running for president, and we were talking about all the Black women that she locked up. And there were some who had some extenuating circumstances. Their children had some serious health problems. And James, two-tier justice. Yeah. Nemo, LA. Yeah, she was. Some of the situations, though, if you go back, some of the videos that I did, there was some with some serious health situations. She did not care. She had them arrested. So we were talking about that again prior to President Trump winning the presidency. Look at the legal rationale for charging parents. The legal and ethical debate over these laws revolves around several factors. Age of the child. The younger the child, the more likely the courts are to hold parents responsible for failing to provide adequate supervision. And that's what it's about, folks. We understand adults have problems, but it is not fair to the rest of us to be, victimized, essayed, unalived, carjacked, all of these things because you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a parent. I'm just saying. Parental negligence. There we go with the N word again. Negligence. Was the parent directly or indirectly involved? Did they know about or fail to prevent the child's criminal behavior? Now, that's that gray area. Because usually when something happens, parents are always, well, I had no idea or I didn't know. It's your child and they're in your house. What's going on with you that you don't know what your child is doing? How you doing, Monique? Type of liability. Most states have laws for civil liability requiring parents to pay damages for property damage or personal injury. Criminal liability, as seen in the New York and Michigan cases, is typically reserved for cases where parental neglect is a central factor in their child's delinquency. All right, so I wanted to share that with you. Hit the like button for me, please. My girls, I had to set aside my issues and raise my daughters. No, I was not perfect by no stretch of the imagination, but I was into what they were doing, where they were, and their friends. My girls, that's very important. Lots of times, yeah, you can do a good job raising your kids, but what type of people are they spending time with? Because we know peer pressure is real, and it's worse in this time of social media. Very good point, my girls. Yeah. All right. So I had that for you. Now, I have some videos for you. And those that were not here, Nate, I think most of us are subscribed to Nate the Lawyer. And he dropped in last night, left a super chat, and it was so refreshing. Just about all of us are subscribed to his channel. So that was really nice that he dropped in on us and showed us some love and support. And I think all of you that are here now were here. If there's someone who's watching who has not said anything and we can't see that you're here, make sure you go over and sub up to Nate the Lawyer. He always has excellent content, and I'm always sharing some of his videos. He always has an excellent take on these cases. Now, I am going to share with you. All right. What I just mentioned, the New Jersey case. Now, I shared with you a few videos ago. Okay, here we go. I actually mentioned this case. I may have shown a short clip on this. If I did not, I mentioned it. Okay. So here's a little bit more. How you doing, Anthony? Florida, that's an emptiness that never goes away, but I'm happy for you. Anthony, what happened to Anthony? I must have missed Anthony's comment. My dad, okay, Anthony, my dad died when I was 4, so she was on her own. Anthony, okay, sorry to hear that, Anthony. But you persevered and you made it. Thank God. Okay. Gloucester Township. This is New Jersey. And remember, let's not forget, the mayor of Newark, high crime-ridden area, low school test scores, all these horrible things. Remember, their mayor was out there trying to get into the detention facility, the ICE detention facility. And I told you that guy needs to be removed from office with all the issues in his district. He's out there trying to get into the ICE detention facility to make sure the illegals are being treated correctly. Okay, Jeremiah, thank you, love. I think I did respond to you. All right. So, the New Jersey mayor and council passed an ordinance in July 2025 that could result in parents facing fines or jail time for failing to prevent their children's involvement in certain illegal activities and public disturbances. And I've been showing you videos on these teenagers roving mobs of teenagers and some of the crimes that they're committing. I've shared several clips with you on that. All right. The ordinance targets public disruptions caused by minors, listing offenses from felonies to minor infractions like loitering and curfew violations. The goal is to hold parents responsible and prevent children. Hope you can see this. Yeah, you can. Prevent children's involvement in certain illegal activities and public disturbances. The ordinance targets public disruptions caused by minors, listing offenses from felonies, to minor infraction like loitering, curfew violation. The goal is to hold parents responsible and prevent children from entering the juvenile justice system by ensuring parents are aware of and involved in their children's activities. Hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. What it is. And again, this is just holding parents accountable, folks. Tube Steak, how you doing? And it just took effect last month. Why it was passed, again, I showed you several videos on children committing, some of them heinous crimes. Potential penalties: caretakers could face up to 90 days in jail and or a fine for up to $2,000 if the child is repeatedly found guilty of offenses covered by the ordinance. Goal: to prevent children from getting, of course, caught up in the juvenile justice system. How it works, you see that here. And then you can do a deeper dive with AI. But that's basically what it's about. And hey, I am all for it because of the teen takeovers that I had been sharing with you. And so let me show you a video clip on that. Hit the like button for me, please, folks. And I'll show you a short video.
And a New Jersey town.
All right. Let's see if you can see what I'm looking at. You can. All right. Here we go.
Is putting parents on notice. They can now face a fine or even jail time for their kids' bad behavior. The new ordinance in Gloucester Township, New Jersey, could punish parents if their child is involved in a, quote, public disturbance. It comes after multiple incidents, including a fight involving hundreds of teens last year. Gloucester Township Police Chief David Harkins is here to tell us more about that. Chief Harkins, thanks for coming on. I know it's a busy time, so we appreciate it. Walk me through this. The law took effect July 28th, so you're less than a month in now. How have people in the town responded so far, and have you seen any behavior changes yet?
So first, thank you for having me on. So we enacted it, like you said, in July. We've gotten overwhelming support from our community. In June of 2024, we had an event, Gloucester Township Day, that got ruined by unruly juveniles who were being dropped off from out of the area by ride shares. And it was an event that I've never experienced anything like it in 30 years as a police officer. the disrespect, the violent behavior that ruined a family event. So we've gotten very good feedback from our community on this. We had the full support of our mayor and council, and we've seen that people recognize the need for parental responsibility. And we haven't had a charge. Again, this is about warning parents and due process. It is about them being responsible for their children. Again, we're not looking to put anybody in jail or anything like that. There's a process that you go through to get warned for multiple repetitive behaviors by these juvenile delinquents.
So when you say bad behavior, what kind of behavior are we talking about? What does this apply to?
So it applies to just about any type of criminal behavior, but we're really looking to target, the type of mischief that we encounter, assaults on people at playgrounds and all kind of, but it encompasses all criminal behavior to make the parents aware, to give the parents the power to warn them, say, hey, you're responsible for your child's behavior. In the cases that I've referred to, we found many times interviewing the parents, they had no idea who their kids were with, what they were doing, and what they were up to. And that's got to change, as a parent. We have to be responsible for our children.
Critics say this could cause serious issues. One parents' right group says parents could be put in jail and pulled away from their other kids because of one child's actions. What's your response to that?
Well, that is not the intent. Again, the law mirrors New Jersey statutes.
That's not the intent. But again, the threat is there. So if you don't want to be taken away from your other children, do what you're supposed to do as a parent. And if you can't handle them, then you need to seek services and have that child placed somewhere away from you so that you're not penalized. That's all I can say. Lanita, how you doing, love?
For disorderly conduct with the penalties. The goal is that if a juvenile was taken into custody by the police, the parents will be provided an information sheet and a warning, if you will, letting them know that this ordinance exists. The child still has to go through full due process for juvenile justice. And we're firm believers in giving programs and help the parents for unruly children. We have a full-time social worker that works with our juvenile unit for the police department. So we're committed to giving help to those that need it, because we understand being a parent is a tough job. And family is very important. And we're just trying to make parents responsible for their children.
What about for parents who are trying and can't seem to get their teen or preteen or child or whatever it is? They can't find solutions. They can't get the child's behavior under control. We know kids are different. We know some struggle with some things, some struggle with others. So beyond you say you have a social worker for juvenile delinquents, is there any kind of support to help parents through this?
Yeah, one of the main things that the social worker does is parenting classes and goes out and actually meets with the families at their residence to offer these. There's many social programs that can help a parent. We work very closely with our school districts and to provide help that we need. Our school resource officers, they're our biggest community resource officers out there. They have great contacts with the kid, and we've had great success with providing solutions to parents to get them the help that they need and to correct the behavior so that their children don't enter the criminal justice system. That's the goal here, to not have their kids get into that juvenile justice system, to correct their behavior, but to give the parents the tools they need to help them.
Chief, have you had to arrest anybody yet?
No, we haven't. We've just put the information out there. Again, our ultimate goal is that we never have to charge anybody with this. We will if we have to for repetitive, violent behavior, the type of behavior that we saw in that Gloucester Township day where my officers were being spit on, cursed at, assaulted. That kind of stuff we will use this for.
All right. Gloucester Township Police Chief David Harkins, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
And if you remember, again, in a few videos, I shared video clips of some of these mobs of teenagers. And remember the case, remember in Chicago, they all showed up to and took over a pool. They pushed one of the pool attendants in the pool, and that was funny. And of course, everyone had their phone out recording. People are sick of this crap. Now, the race hustlers are saying that this is targeting black and brown people. Of course, that's what they're saying. We're used to that. We just ignore them, right? My girls, each generation is so eager to get away from their parents, and they will never raise their child like they were raised. But the bottom line is old school ways are far better than this modern crap. Hey, Truth Bomb, I am with you. Jason, the real problem is they weren't raised at all. Thank you. Oh, I wish my Truth Bomb was working. Yes, that's the problem, Jason. Zero home training on them. And Jason, we see that in the schools. Again, not telling you what I was told, telling you what I've witnessed. I'm just saying. Jeremiah, I did not. I will today. I was so busy, I did not, but I will. Okay. All right. So that's one video. Okay. Now let me get to the story at hand that I wanted to share, because today's title, Mother Charged for 11-year-old Son's Crime. We'll get to that next. And again, tell me what your thoughts are on this subject matter. I will stop this one and try to get the next one going. All right. And if you're just coming in, I've already done the reading, so now this is the video. All right, hit that little thumb, please. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. You're right. Jason, we've got a sizable percentage of a generation of people who can't cook scrambled eggs. Facts. All right, here we go.
For out-of-control criminal behavior by her child. It's something police have been reluctant to do, but it just happened in Utica. A rare arrest, and police did it to prove a point and get other parents to exert more authority over their children. This week, police arrested 36-year-old Nutro Muhammad. Authorities say her 11-year-old son has been involved in at least 4 felonies: robbery, fire at a Walmart, stolen cars, and more. Because of his age, police say they can't charge him criminally, so they've turned their attention to the mother. Late today, Utica Police Lieutenant Michael Curley and I talked about some of the specifics of this case, why police and prosecutors took this very rare step, and what they're hoping comes of it. What message do you hope that this sends to folks in Utica and beyond?
So this is a very unique situation, considering the age of the child, the amount of crimes that he's been in, the lack of the ability for the police and the community to really do anything about it, coupled with the fact that Raise the Age has just kind of run amok amongst the juvenile population with this case in particular, and the fact that under 12 cannot be prosecuted in any criminal facility or family court. We felt it prudent that we had to do something in this respect.
When you arrested this mother in particular and explained why she was going to be placed under arrest, what was the reaction?
I mean, certainly she was unhappy, as dictated by our press release, and certainly I think everyone can understand that by the charge in of itself, this is not the first contact we've had with this mother. It wasn't that a simple juvenile stole a pack of gum from a local convenience store and we're charging a mother for an uncare of a juvenile. This child has been in a multitude of felonies, to include robberies, burglaries, stolen vehicles, and a fire at Walmart. So it's not as if these aren't just true public nuisance crimes as well. So this kid isn't just out stealing things, as we said. He's not throwing rocks through windows. This is a case where a juvenile has created a multitude of major safety issues, and the mom has just been unwilling to try to stem those behaviors.
And you're sure it's unwilling, not unable?
Well, I think there is a very fine line between unwilling and unable. Once you've been notified, informed, and offered services on a multitude of occasions, and you're just not taking advantage of those things, nor attempting in any facility to try to rein in your child's behavior, What are we as the public and we as the police to assist the public supposed to do? Just allow the kid to continue wantonly committing crimes, committing violent crimes, and out there at all hours of the night without supervision? I think it was incumbent upon us just to prove a point that these kind of behaviors will not be allowed, obviously in very certain circumstances. Each and every time we've talked to mom, she either states she doesn't know where he is, or he snuck out, or he's out doing things. And these crimes aren't just occurring.
So again, now what are your thoughts on this case, folks? So when they were contacting mom prior to arresting her, I don't know where he is. I don't know what he's doing. Ma'am, that is not an excuse. What the heck? What is she doing that she doesn't know where her child is or what he's doing? What the heck is going on with her?
At 6 p.m. They're occurring at 1 a.m., at midnight, and later in the morning.
Did you hear that? So did you hear all the times that an 11-year-old is out committing these heinous crimes? Let me rewind it. I want to make sure you get that. Oh, my goodness.
At 6 p.m. They're occurring at 1 a.m., at midnight, and later in the morning hours, in which it is their due diligence and their care to make sure their child has proper supervision. And each and every time we've encountered this child and brought him home and spoke to mom, we found that it has been a lack of all care, supervision, and neglect potentially. I mean, obviously that's a charge that can be explored later down the line, but things that just cannot continue due to one, the age of the child and the serious nature of these crimes.
Is there any worry that coming down on mom could make the life of the child worse if mom is saddled with court time, fines, whatever, potential jail time, something like that, that things could end up worse for the kid?
Understood. It's a concern. However, I think in this case, it is endangering the welfare of the child. So we are arguing that mom's behavior has created a situation which either allows this child to act in this behavior or has been unable and unwilling to take care to cease this behavior. So I would argue that mom's own behavior has created the situation in this child's life that he is just free and wanton to do what he wants. And we need to stem that behavior somehow. And if this requires mom to get the services, to adhere to the services and comply with services, I think we've helped the child in the long run.
In this case, Utica police say they went for a misdemeanor charge against the mother, hoping to get her attention but not upend the family. The punishment could be probation, court-ordered services. Rarely would it be jail time.
Unless, of course, this continues. And then you're really going to have to get her attention even more. Lanita, feral behavior always keeps the local jails to prison system in business. There are plenty of jobs if you need one there. Sad, sad, sad for many. Lanita, yes. Lanita is a retired educator. So every time I say something in reference to education, she says, yep, I know what you're talking about. Remember, the mother is feral too. You got that? Obviously, Lanita, yes. My girls tell Tweety Bird to stop with the excuses. Oh my God, yes. So there's that. I wanted to share that with you. And okay, let me see here. Again, let me show you the teen takeovers, which I have shared with you before. And just in case you've forgotten, I've already covered this, the New Jersey and several other teen takeovers. Okay. Remember this? Let me take you back. In May, I covered this. Edison, New Jersey. And this was a carnival, a family event. Let me stop all this stuff from playing here. 300. Now that's a lot. 300 juveniles involved in massive brawl for planned meetup at New Jersey Mall. Several teens were arrested after a brawl broke out at the Menlo Park Mall in Edison, New Jersey on Saturday night. The chaos erupted after several hundreds of teens showed up for a gathering planned through TikTok. One officer was injured in the mayhem. It started with a call out days before by a social media influencer for his followers to descend on Menlo Park Mall on Saturday night. Now, question that I have for you. Do you feel that the TikTok influencer is culpable a bit? Jeremiah, no, tell me, Jeremiah. You're talking about this city, it would be Thomas Edison. If you're talking about this city, Jeremiah. Yeah, where are we here? So tell me in the comment section, should this TikTok influencer be charged? How you doing, Tina Vendetti? Oh, yeah, I said, okay, Jeremiah, yeah. So it started, okay. They were having a brawl. They were pushing and shoving. When our officers arrived, they actually started fighting with our officers. Chief Thomas Bryan with the Edison Police Department said 300 juveniles were so out of control that police from surrounding towns had to respond as well. It took about an hour and a half to break up the gathering. 7 juveniles were arrested, mostly for resisting officers, none of which were from Edison. So people set up events on social media, and this is the aftermath. One was arrested for assault on an Edison officer. And again, they weren't following the commands of the officers. They were spitting on the officers. They were doing horrible things. All of the juveniles were released, excuse me, to their parents eventually. On Monday, Edison Mayor Sam Joshi spoke about the incident and partially blamed the teenagers' parents, as he should. What are the parents doing? Aren't the parents aware that they're traveling 45 minutes to cause a disturbance within Edison Township? It makes no sense. And it's sad to say, but just like Lanita and I think my girls, was mentioning earlier, let's be clear, folks. A lot of these people are like, who cares as long as they're out of my hair? People don't want to hear what I have to say, but I'm telling the truth. I found out a lot when once the pandemic sent us home. Those parents were livid. Many of them did not want to be bothered with their own children. That's another truth bomb. I'm just keeping it 100% transparent. So parents need to be focused on their kids, making sure they're not causing this kind of rowdiness in other towns, Joshi said. The mayor is placing the rest of the blame on Simon Properties, which owns the mall. Okay, everyone's passing the blame. He said its plan to handle an out-of-control situation like the one over the weekend is very inadequate. We expect them to have more license plate readers throughout the property, more cameras throughout the mall, as well as the parking deck. We wanted to ensure they significantly ramp up their private security within the mall, Joshi said. Menlo Park Mall released a statement on Monday saying, the behavior during Saturday night's incident is not tolerated at our property. They thanked law enforcement for their quick response and the arrest of several individuals. The safety and security of our retailers, employees, and customers is our highest priority, Menlo Park Mall said. Of course they did. We deploy around the clock patrols by a team of trained security professionals supported by patrols by paid off-duty and on-duty police officers. Menlo Park Mall is also supported by real-time video surveillance of our property, as well as license plate readers that provide real-time alerts to EPD. And after all this, the mall said that they would be increasing police and security. All right, so now I'll go back up. So this incident, and there have been multiple, not just this one, okay?
Arrested after a brawl broke out at the Menlo Park Mall in Edison on Saturday night.
Yeah, the chaos erupted after hundreds of teens showed up for a gathering planned through TikTok. One officer was injured in all that mayhem.
Yeah, New Jersey reporter Tony Yates is live in Edison, where the mayor spoke out on this issue today. Tony.
Yeah, Liz and Dave, this was not a sanctioned event. In fact, this was not an event at all. This was an online influencer telling his followers that he was going to be here at Menlo Park Mall on Saturday, and they, young people, juveniles, should show up as well. Well, that, as it usually does in situations like this, turned into a recipe for disaster.
I know a couple people got arrested, and I know that there was multiple waves of them running out.
Right.
There was like 5 waves for like 2 hours.
It started out with a call out days before by a social media influencer releasing videos like these that often circulate online.
We're doing a Menlo Mall link up on Saturday. I ain't gonna lie.
This one for his followers to descend on Menlo Park Mall Saturday night. That meetup turned into chaos.
They were having a brawl. They were pushing, shoving, and fighting. Our officers arrived, and they started fighting with our officers.
People think it's a joke, and they take it for granted, and they think it's fun and games.
300 juveniles out of control. Police from surrounding towns having to respond as well. It took about an hour and a half to break up that gathering. 7 juveniles were arrested, mostly for resisting officers. 1 was arrested for assault on an Edison officer. All of them eventually released to their parents, who Edison Mayor Sam Joshi is partially blaming.
What are the parents doing? Aren't the parents aware that they're traveling 45 minutes to cause a disturbance?
No, they're not. That's the problem.
Within Edison Township, it makes no sense. Parents need to be focused on their kids, making sure that they're not causing this type of rowdiness in other towns.
The rest of the blame, the mayor places on Simon Properties, which owns the mall, saying its plan to handle an out-of-control situation like this is very inadequate.
We expect them to have more license plate readers throughout the property. We expect them to have more cameras throughout the mall as well as the parking deck. We wanted to ensure that they significantly ramp up their private security within the mall.
Now, Mayor Joshi says he is keeping the lines of communications with Simon Properties open to make sure that all of those upgrades are made, and that there will also be a discussion about maybe having a curfew at the mall for juveniles. We did reach out to Simon Properties. We have not heard back at this point. For now, we're live here in Edison, New Jersey. Tony Yates, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Yes. Jeremiah Dorian, MAGA. Okay, I can take this off now. Makes them feel good about themselves. My girls, Rolynn, when are you going to build a time machine? These people are nuts. Working on it now, my girls. All right. So there's that. Let me see what else I can show you. Yeah, these people were totally out of control. Okay, there we go. And I had a video that was actually going to show you. I wanted you to see the mob. And I agree 100%. I am in total agreement here. Let me see. Hit the like button for me, please. I thought I had some actual footage to share with you here. Lanita, this has become a tradition to take over the malls if possible, especially during fall and winter school breaks. If they arrest them, the madness might stop. Hey, I'm all for that. I am all for that. Okay. Now let's see where we are. Hit that little thumb, please, folks. Maybe if the parents are held accountable, maybe they'll start to do what they need to do as a parent. I mean, who knows? But I mean, they have to do something. And, the police, let's be clear, particularly if minorities are involved, Black and Hispanic mostly, they're kind of in a no-win situation. If someone is injured or unalived accidentally or whatever, they're on a bad spot. So they're trying to handle the situation, but they're trying to do it with kid gloves because they don't want something to happen. Lanita said, when I was a teen, my parents knew every time I sneezed. Okay, Connie, thanks for dropping in, love. God bless you too. Hope to see you soon. Bye. Love you too, Miss Connie. Nemo, Simon Properties in Torrance at the Del Amo Mall had to implement a supervision policy because too many teenagers kept having fights. Nemo, I'm seeing that in a lot of different places. And now they're starting to say, some places are saying if you're a teenager, you cannot enter without a parent. Big Cat, how you doing, Big Cat? We're glad you're here. Hit that like button. So we'll see. MAGA. I was the same way with my kids. My daughter and her friends were very vain, so I bought a camera and followed them around doing photo shoots. Okay, MAGA. MAGA was like, I need to see what you're up to. Okay. All right. That's great. Oh, my goodness. All right. Let me see if I can get some footage, other footage for you. Hold 1 second. Tell me what you think about this content, folks. MAGA, my son only played video games, so it was easy. Yeah, Jeremiah, you're fine, love. We know what you're telling us about. All right. We are on the same page. Yeah, I had some footage I wanted to show you so you could actually see what they were doing. All right. Okay. Give me one moment as I set this up. And hopefully we'll see some change. Nemo, Jason, Torrance PD used to be tough on that stuff. Probably another woke department now. Yeah, Jason, we know what has happened. We do know. For sure. They just decided that, well, they're children. They don't need to be charged. So crime is running rampant. I mean, if you have a kid and they're 11 years old and they are out here committing felonies, I'm sorry, not sorry. I am not. Okay, I did find, here it is. This is what I wanted to show you. All right. So you can see some of the footage. Now, remember, this was supposed to be an event for families, and 300 juveniles show up. I think you know where I'm going with this. All right. Okay. All right, I'll show you. And like I said, I think I mentioned this before a few videos ago when we're talking about teenagers and crime, but I wanted to show this to you.
What is going on? In all my years, I have never seen a motherfucking 300 people brawl at Menlo Park Mall.
I'll pause that so you have time to read it. My girls, yes. I watched that video of the 11-year-old girl. I think the grandpa, they said the grandpa was the father or something like that of the 11-year-old girl's child. Yeah, that was wild. That's sick. Including the King's Dominion theme park just outside Richmond, Virginia in October. A brawl erupted with as many as 300 people in the area, encouraging the unrest. Okay. Lord Jammer said another brawl over weed. Woo! So there's that. I shop a lot online because of the safety factor. Lanita too. Lanita, I don't like going out in public like I used to. People are just idiots. Now, if the teenagers if they showed up to have a good time, but they're not out there fighting and wreaking havoc, they wouldn't have all these problems. But they get there, they start fighting, and they become involved in other crimes. Oh. So that was one. Let me see if I can show you outside. Let me see. But yeah, they will show up. Someone on social media will tell them to show up at a certain place, and then they show up. And it's just, they wreak havoc. So if you type this in, yeah, you can see this. Let me see. Is this one? Yeah, you can see some of the things that they're doing. That's a lot. Oof.
Hey, pass me the one with the button on it. The house be running.
Now they're playing music, so I paused I closed the music down. I muted it. So this is what they're doing when they're showing up. And again, what about the influencer that told them all to show up because he was going to meet them there? What about him? Right? Should we let him off the hook? You tell me.
If your mall trip looks like a war zone, you're in Menlo Park this weekend. On Saturday night, a planned TikTok meetup exploded into violence at the Menlo Park Mall in Edison, New Jersey. Over 300 youths gathered, leading to the arrest of 7 minors and an officer sustaining a fractured ankle. Mayor Sam Joshi reported that the crowd quickly grew from 100 to over 300, forcing local police to call for backup from neighboring departments. The scene was chaotic, teenagers screaming, running from officers, and engaging in fights, with videos flooding TikTok almost instantly. Edison Police Chief Tom Bryan confirmed TikTok's role in amassing the large crowd. This incident highlights a disturbing trend of social media-fueled meetups turning into public disturbances, and in this case, outright violence. Stay aware, stay safe, and let's think.
So that's all for that. Okay. So what are your thoughts, folks? What should happen to the people who schedule these meetups? The ones who actually schedule them? I remember a time when parents would be fighting for their children's wanted toys. Cabbage Patch. Jeremiah, boom. I remember that too. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they used to be fighting during Christmas time trying to get the Cabbage Patch dolls. I remember that. Oh my God. Let me see what else I had for you. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you too. So again, tell me what your thoughts are as it relates to charging children. I use that word lightly. that commit heinous or adult crimes with adult time. And here's another case, a 12-year-old, and listen to some of the activities that he was involved in.
His age would shield him from a brutal crime. Christopher Atkins joined two teens in a triple murder that shocked Florida, mocking justice with a deadly plan, until the courtroom delivered a twist that changed everything. This is the chilling tale of a...
I just got an alert on my phone. Let me see what it is so I can share it with you. Rudy Giuliani injured in New Hampshire car crash. Okay. All right. All right. Let's get back to YouTube. All right. Tell me, as you watch this, tell me what your thoughts are.
Child turned killer, where betrayal runs deeper than blood. Don't let this horror fade into silence. Subscribe to uncover every dark detail, or tell us why you'd ignore these victims' cries.
What are your thoughts, folks? You have 12-year-olds committing unalivings. What are your thoughts?
Only 12 in March 2023, was the youngest of 3 teens in Ocklawaha, Florida. Alongside Robert Robinson, 17, and Taj Bruton, 16, he ran with a crowd tied to burglaries and licks, slang for robberies. Atkins, described as quiet but impressionable, carried a stolen gun, influenced by older teens. Robinson, with a history of theft, and Bruton, labeled the orchestrator by prosecutors, led the group into a deadly spiral. All 3 were entangled in crime, but Atkins' age made his role the most shocking. On March 30th, 2023, Atkins, Robinson, and Bruton were with 3 friends: Lila Silvernail, 16, a talented softball pitcher; Michael Hodo Jr., 17, and Camille Quarles, 16. What began as a night of burglaries turned into a nightmare. Lila was found shot in the head near a dumpster, barely alive, dying soon after. Michael was discovered the next day, shot in the head on a roadside. Camille was found April 1, shot twice, stuffed in the trunk of Lila's submerged car. The trio turned on their friends in a chilling execution-style betrayal, leaving a town in horror.
As all of you are well aware, last Thursday, March 30th, we received a call near Forest Lakes Park, where our first victim, Layla Silvernail, was located suffering from a gunshot wound. She would later succumb to her injuries. The following morning, we responded to a location about a half a mile away and located a second victim deceased on the side of the road from an apparent gunshot wound. Then on Saturday, April 1st, my deputies located Layla's car abandoned and partially submerged in a pond about 9 miles from the location where she was found. My investigators located the third victim inside of the car. And I'll go ahead and tell you, because you've been asking me for specific details. She was located in the trunk. Now, the investigators were able to determine that this group of juveniles were involved in committing burglaries and robberies, which they were referred to as a lick. Now, although we had out there that was gang related, we have nothing specific to say that it was any rivalry or anything to such that cause. But however, each and every one of them, in some shape or form, is associated with a gang. Basically, simple terms, there is no honor among thieves.
And we know that. We've heard that one 1,000 times. Hit that like button for me, please. I'm trying to keep up, my girls. I'm trying to keep up with your comment. I tried to go back and grab it. When you said when you were a little girl, you said it was the grandfather, just like the case that we were just discussing, my girls. Wow, my girls. Oh my goodness. Okay. Here we go.
And at some point, these 3 individuals
My girls, there are lots of cases like this. That's why I'm saying, if you're out here committing, thank you, my girls. If you're out here committing these types of crimes, sorry, not sorry. You need, I don't care that you're 12 years old. You need to be incarcerated. I mean, this is unacceptable, folks. It is. MAGA, what else is new, right?
Turned on our 3 victims and murdered them. 2 of them right there. They fled the scenes, but left a lot of evidence in their wake.
Sheriff Billy Woods used phone records, over 200 tips, and forensics to track down Atkins, Robinson, and Bruton. A stolen gun linked them to the shootings. In interrogation, Atkins claimed Bruton forced him to shoot one victim, his family if he refused. His words sparked a firestorm. Was he a scared kid under pressure or a cold-blooded killer?
And of course, when they're caught, it was, oh, I was forced to. Yeah, tell me another one. Tell me another one, right?
That is right. I continue through these documents tonight, and according to this arrest report, the 3 teenage victims were involved in illegal activities with their 3 suspected killers before the suspects turned on them and dumped their bodies.
Did you hear that, folks? So they knew these people. Let me rewind that. You need to hear that again. Wow.
He refused. His words sparked a firestorm. Was he a scared kid under pressure or a cold-blooded killer?
I continue to dig through these documents tonight, and according to this arrest report, the 3 teenage victims were involved in illegal activities with 3 suspected killers.
So they were involved, people that they killed. So the victims were involved in some type of illegal activity. So I don't know if they were friends with them, if they were just involved in nefarious activities with them, but they knew them and they just shot them down like dogs. Oof.
Before the suspects turned on them and dumped their bodies.
Investigators say while interviewing the 12-year-old suspect, he told them they picked up Taj Bruton, who was wearing a ski mask. The 12-year-old claims Bruton shot Silvernail and a 17-year-old boy, and claimed he was forced to shoot the 3rd victim. The arrest report said, quote, the juvenile defendant advised he was told to shoot victim blank or his family would be killed.
Of course, how many times have we heard that, right? Oh, I was forced to. Yeah, when they get caught, right. Nemo, Rolynn, those kids knew what they were doing. These demons know between right and wrong. Nemo, we're on the same page. We're on the same page. Yes. I'm with you. Yes, Monique, my girl's very sad.
And Atkins' plea painted him as a pawn, but his role in hiding the bodies raised doubts about his innocence. In May 2023, a grand jury indicted Robinson and Bruton on 3 counts of first-degree murder each, plus robbery, carjacking, and tampering.
So again, all right, folks, what are your thoughts? Charge them as juveniles, where they go to juvie, and they're out in a couple of years, or what? I know where Nemo stands because Nemo stands with me.
Adkins faced 1 murder count, robbery, and tampering, charged as an adult despite being 12. Their gang ties of licks revealed a calculated plan, with Bruton as the alleged mastermind and Robinson a key planner. Adkins' youth shocked the nation, but his actions spoke louder.
Let me tell you something about Taj. Taj tell you he finna do something, and you decide not to do it with him, then I probably would have died with this.
So were you afraid of Taj that night? Because
if I did not do what Taj...
So again, not accepting responsibility, shoving the blame on someone else. It's the Democratic way.
Wanted me to do, I would have died that night with them.
Taj is that bad?
Robinson's interrogation revealed a hardened teen, dodging questions, but evidence tied him to all 3 murders. Killers this young could be anywhere. Don't stay blind. Subscribe to expose the darkness. In April 2025, Adkins, now 14, pleaded guilty to one murder count, agreeing to testify against Robinson and Bruton. His betrayal stunned the courtroom, painting him as both victim and villain. Robinson pleaded no contest in June, while Bruton, the alleged orchestrator, also pleaded guilty. Adkins' youth didn't shield him. Prosecutors called his actions callous, despite his claim of coercion.
Three people they got their life taken away for no reason.
Adkins addressed the packed courtroom, telling the victims' families he feels bad, but he never did say he was sorry.
I got a good soul, good mind, good heart. People think that I don't care. I do. I got a whole life, and people don't think I care about the victims or their families. I do. I think about them, about them and how they feel and what they go through. I feel them so bad. I feel so bad about them. I'm really a good person. I want to be able to influence other people to do better in life.
Well, he's up here talking about he's really a good person. Tell me another one.
Go places around the world, donate to places, cancer places, hospitals, all types of stuff. Help the world as much as I can.
Family and
Adkins' desperate plea before sentencing gripped the courtroom, but would his age sway the judge? Before sentencing, Robinson broke his silence with an apology, expressing regret to the victims' families. His mother followed.
I apologize to my mama and my loved ones for the actions I have committed. I'd like to apologize to the victim family for the hurt I brought upon them. I made bad choices, and it ain't no excuses for my choices. I'm not gonna make excuses for it or blame anybody but myself. I just want to apologize.
Robinson's words contrasted his earlier defiance, but the families weren't moved. His mother begged for mercy, her cries echoing in a tense room.
My name is Erica Trow, and I am the mother of Robert Robinson, who is currently before you for sentencing. I write this letter with a heavy heart, fully aware of the pain and gravity of the situation. I do not wish to make excuses for what has happened. I am simply asking that you see the human being my son is and the potential for redemption that still exists within him.
He would get his redemption in prison, not out here unleashed on the rest of society, ma'am. Sorry, not sorry. Right, Nemo? We're on the same page.
Robert is 19 years old. He is my child, and while he has made a devastating mistake, I know he is not beyond saving. He has expressed deep remorse for what has occurred. He is not proud of what happened, and he has shown sincere sorrow, not only to me, but to others as well. I have watched my son reflect on his actions with shame, regret, and heartbreak. He understands the consequences, and I truly believe he wishes he could take it all back. Your Honor, I'm not asking you to ignore what happened. I am only asking for mercy, for the opportunity for Robert to prove that he is more than just his worst decision. He is still young. I ask you to consider a sentence that allows him the chance to grow, to get help, and to one day come back to society a changed man.
In July 2025, the courtroom delivered justice. Bruton's aunt's apology added complexity. The judge sentenced Taj Bruton to 3 life terms, one for each victim, a moment that rocked Ocklawaha.
The overwhelming thing is that he
I'm with you, my girls.
orchestrated the death of 3 juveniles without any pretense or any justification in any sense whatsoever. He did that at the time after cutting off his electronic monitor for a juvenile offense, for offensive carjacking.
My girls, yes.
He did this offense within a couple of months of being placed on the electronic monitor. I just find that the seriousness and the heinousness of these offenses outweigh any mitigation that's been placed in front of the court. For the homicide offenses, there's really only one sentence that is appropriate in the case. And that sentence that he shall receive is a life sentence for each of his homicide offenses.
Robert Robinson received a life sentence, eligible for review after 25 years, his apology falling short against his crimes. Christopher Adkins, despite his youth, was sentenced to 40 years in prison with a review after 25 years, his plea unable to erase his role. The verdict sparked millions of views online, with Adkins' age fueling fierce debate. Bruton's fate was sealed, his orchestrator role undeniable. The family's raw grief fueled calls for justice, shaking the courtroom.
The day started off with Michael Hodo Jr.'s father, Michael Hodo, providing a statement. This was read by a victim advocate. He told Judge Robert Hodges anything short of a life sentence would be an injustice to the three victims. He wishes the death penalty was on the table, but says the justice system is flawed. Next, Hodo Jr.'s stepmom provided an emotional statement. She talked about who Hodo Jr. was and how he and Layla Silvernail completed each other. She says the three victims' lives were taken by greed and jealousy, saying they discarded the victims like they were trash. After hearing from Hodo Jr.'s family for the first time, Silvernail's grandma spoke for the second day in a row, breaking down in tears about the loss of her granddaughter.
I've been robbed of seeing Layla graduate, walk down the aisle, attend college, and become a mother. I have to watch her friends grow up without her.
Yes, Nemo says 25 years is too soon for a review. Boom, that's a truth bomb. My girls had some choice words to say. No, none of them cared. So, and again, they had a relationship with the three people that they unalived. And who was it? Monique? My girls. You don't see any of the black Democratic grifters. No, they never said a word. Of course not. All right, so that's the end of that pretty much. Let me see.
We will forever grieve.
These teens' crimes can't be forgotten. Subscribe to keep their victims' stories alive.
Yeah, so I'm with all of you. You know, you're out again. They need to man up. You're out here doing the most. Essaying and carjacking, unaliving. Guess what? Consequences. All right. That's pretty much all I have for you. Tell me what your thoughts are in relation to that. That subject matter. If you would like me to do more videos on teenagers and the crimes that they are committing, type that in the comment section. Say, yes, do more. I mean, there are a lot of videos on this subject matter. Which case, my girls, are you talking about? I must have missed it. Right, Jason? Bye-bye. Dorian, yes. And people have made excuses. For years, they've been making excuses. Time is over for that. No. Yep, Lord Jammer, if it doesn't fit the narrative, you know they don't say a word. Yo, you were thinking about the Carmelo Anthony. Yeah. So that's all I have for you. And, okay. I will let you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday. I will probably be live tomorrow, or I'll upload some videos, something. I'll do something. What? I don't know. But just make sure you check. Make sure you're subscribed and you have it on all notifications. Okay? All right. You too, Maga. Yeah, I'll be uploading videos tomorrow, or I'll go live. How you doing, Beverly? I'm not sure what I'll do. Mayor, yeah, all of you be safe. Love you all. And just look for me tomorrow to be before you in some fashion. If it's not live, I'll just upload some videos. But make sure you check it out. Thank you so much, Steve. All right. I'm coming to talk to you right now in the comment section. So I'll come and stay as long as you are there. Thank you again for spending your time here at the Rolynn's Reviews channel. You too, Knock and Fuss. Take care. I'm coming to talk to you now.